Back at her. I've got the down thingamajigger and the other down thingamajigger glued into place there. Got some blocking, still have to do some gussets on the tail. I've got the two main ones coming down that join to that, and that's why I wanted to get those main ones done so that I could actually put this on. And if you look, the old one came out to about here. This one's in quite a bit, and that leaves that tail nice and skinny all the way through there. It's not bulging out and you're missing that area. So more efficient, more effective. I've got two more stringers put in there going up to the top, and that's kind of formed that nice round. I might stick one more in at the bottom here and have it ending right in here to keep that distance in there. I put blocking on this one as it matched here, and you can't see it, but I've scalloped this corner out so it's a nice hard edge like that, and I've scalloped this one out. And this is just blocking behind where the fabric is going to lay like this. So that'll have a nice round look to it. Now, up here, this wouldn't go to the very top here. It was too much of an angle. It was hitting on the spar carry through. So I brought it down to the bottom. And I just carved out a piece that's going to fit in something like that. So the fabric's going to come up and it'll wrap around this and carry over to the top there. So I'm just going to clean up something like that, get it into place, and then the fabric can come right up over top of that and have a nice smooth transition around this rear spar carry through. Because without that, you've got the fabric coming up here, but there is no tie-in to that top corner. So that top corner was kind of out in the open there all by itself. By creating this, the fabric's going to wrap around here, fabric's going to come up here as well, wrap over the roof, and wrap right around and carry on there. Wrap right around like that. So that's kind of what I've mocked up for that corner. Still have to clean it up. I've got to clean this up. I'm going to take that spar out one more time, get this flush. And then I'm going to put the spar in. I'm going to put it in permanently. I'm not going to have the spar come in and out. It's going to sit right where it is. And then on the wing, I can adjust where this sits on the wing. In and out, up and down, this way, that way. It'll sit right where it needs to on the wing. I can do that. And this spar doesn't have to move then. I can just change it on the wing slightly to where it has to be. That way I can put the rear spar carry through into place and I don't have to worry about it. The only thing I have to move is the, whatever you call that, DHAW2A on the wing itself. Basically, I can just leave this right here. I can almost put a bolt through there and raise and lower the wing to wherever it has to be. Boom, boom, drill some holes, and that's attached to the wing. And the wing spar gives you, the rear spar, you got about that much play on there. So whether it has to come up or down or backwards and forwards, we can adjust it on the wing itself with this little guy. So that's that. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. It looks pretty good. Eric on his put some doublers here, an extra one here. I'm not going to do that, but on the plans they don't even have blocking in this corner. So I am going to block this to do that. I'm going to get started on my landing gear here, and it's going to sit, it sits right about there. So that's where the landing gear will go. I'm starting to put my fuel tank support. Now, with the fuel tank, I don't know what the Dakota Hawk one looks like. If it just sits up top in this area and sits right on here, or does it drop through here into the cab at all? If someone wants to throw me a picture of whether it drops down or not and let me know. Some things that aren't in the plans that I'm going to look at. This is a butt joint. This is the main cross member that holds up that whole gas tank. It's a butt joint. Now they do have, I don't have on here a gusset yet and blocking in here, but I'm going to add blocking underneath here to support that cross member. Blocking in here, I just ate a bug. Blocking in here in a gusset is going to absolutely add support, but there's still a lot of downward force on there. Having a block here to actually support it on each side is going to make that much stronger, that whole cross member. I might do the same thing up front here as well. Just have a block underneath here, however you want to have it, like that, to support these cross members, which again don't have any support coming down. They just have corner blocking in here with a gusset. All right, getting at her. Starting to look like something. I was just forming these up. It's pretty straightforward. That's what the door closes on to all the way around. The window comes down and closes. The door folds up and closes. I did have one question on that. When I looked at the plans for the window, it comes down, shuts like this. They had one of these edges on the inside. I would think it would go on the outside because you would close the door first, then bring the window down, and it should be on the outside. Correct me if I'm wrong there. It's way ahead in the future, so I'm not really looking at that yet. I've got this in place. I wanted to get this one done to see how that looked. Then I'll just copy it onto this other side, but I think that looks pretty good. And that's the look I was going for, a nice rounded turtle deck rather than that square one. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll do the same thing here. I'll get a piece of 1/16 probably ply and do scallops on there to make it look nice when it comes to its final destination. Yeah. All right. Let's carry on. Of course, I had to take an old bed sheet and put it over top, and it looks pretty good actually. Now you'll remember up here I've got that just a wood chunk that I haven't got really formed or anything yet. I've got it to look like it's supposed to look, but that's going to work out nice. You can see how it bends around that. I've got to get it fixed up so it meets down here in a normal place, but that turned out pretty good, I think. See how it just doesn't match up yet, and that's going to be me just playing with it so that it gets nice and straight on there. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. You can see how these blend in really nicely actually. See that one there? Kind of hard to see that one, but there's one right there. And then the center one's right there. And then of course on the side here you'll have a couple that are out a bit to give it some shape. But that looks all right. I'm happy with that. And I like the way it looks, and it's got that little bit of a rounded curve to it. So no, I'm thinking I like that quite a bit. Was I doing anything else for the last couple days? Yes, I was. Put in some strengtheners here, and I asked in the last video, which is still this video, does the gas tank just sit on top or does it drop down into this hole? In the plans it calls for another cross member here. I don't know if I'll put that in. I might. It leaves a bit of space. It goes right here, so it leaves a bit of space here. So that when you have the dash in there, it's about here. Now, I don't know how the gas tank does go in there and how much space I'm going to need behind here for gauges so they don't come into the gas tank area. And maybe that's why this is there, but like I was saying, if someone has a picture of the gas tank so that we can see how it fits in here. I wasn't sure whether it came up and filled this whole space in here or whether it goes down in here and fills this space in here. Let me know, and then I'm going to see whether I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to make up my own gas tank, so I might have it a different shape and form than the one that comes with the Dakota Hawk. If I can get a couple more gallons out of this one, I might do that. So, yeah. And as I said, I put these in here, just supports for that main cross member there. So that's in there. And we carry on. I don't know if that's a better view. If it would focus. They don't even look that curved really. This one curves a little bit, that one curves a little bit, this one curves a little bit. Pull that any tighter. I'm stretching out. I don't know what the camera's looking at. Comes in pretty smooth up there. This is the one I did a little scallop here, and if you look, you can see how that scallops there. And here it's such a small scallop. Scallop? Is that what you call them? But you can see how that would scallop a little there when you heat the actual Dacron that'll be on there. And it shrinks. You might see that little bit of a scallop and that little bit of a scallop, which would look better than just a corner like that that's all bungy, right? So that's the idea behind the scallops, is that it'll create that better look. Good. Pretty happy with that. And up here, it'll come, the fabric come up. It'll just have a regular corner at the top there. But here, again, this little edge will be sanded down. It joins this piece of wood, and that gives it a nice corner over top like that. And what I'm doing is just I'll bring this wood down onto this stringer here so that they meet up. And that forms a nice curve over the top of that corner because we joined the stringer below here. So I had to do something above there, and that's going to work good. I'll just carve this down a little bit more so it comes onto here, and that'll work. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side, of course. But that looks okay. If I just bring that down, that'll really fill that out. Yep, nope, it's all good.